modern society, media is found everywhere. You can't go anywhere without seeing someone watching TV, on their smartphone, or on the web. Because media is such a major part of our lives, we can be easily influenced by it. A bad influence the media releases is a beauty standard for people. Today, I aim to argue against that beauty standard. Even though we depend on the media, there are parts of our lives it shouldn't control. The media shouldn't portray a beauty standard for people because it shows how unrealistic standards of people, it affects how people see others and themselves, it could cause people self-harm. Let's start with unrealistic standards. When you look at an advertisement on TV or pictures on magazines, they usually feature people with flawless features, including body, face, and style. How much body fat someone has seems to be what sticks out most in media. Because of media, women believe that in order to be pretty, they must be skinny. In the case of men, they have to be muscular in order to be handsome. The media usually influence women more than it does men because of how media portray women more than men. According to Esther Lennon-Vargas, author of The Negative Effects of Media on Body Image, the movie and music industries, as well as advertisers, constantly portray an ideal and beautiful body for women as one that is thin, in many cases extremely and or unhealthily thin. Women who don't fit the media's description of skinny may try to force themselves in this body image. In reality, the women portrayed in media are way too skinny. According to Kate Fox, author of Mirror Mirror, 25 years ago, top models and beauty queens weighed only 8% less than the average woman. Now they weigh 23% less. The current media ideal for women is achievable by less than 5% of the female population, and that is just in terms of weight and size. The body weight the media constantly promotes is completely impractical to the average woman. Furthermore, the media sets unrealistic criteria for a person as a whole. It now determines how you should look, what you should wear, and how you should present yourself. According to Haliza Maadviji, author of Beauty or Health, A Personal View, media suggests averageness of features, neither too large or too small, bilateral symmetry, and skin-free or blemishes not only suggest the absence of inherited or acquired medical disorders, but are also commonly judged to be relatively beautiful. Concerning women, female faces are judged to be more attractive if they have delicate jaws, full lips, small noses, high cheekbones, and large eyes. Because the media is practically unavoidable as people, especially women, take these ideals to heart and try to change their entire image just to fit what the media deems acceptable. Going back to the article Mirror Mirror, Fox tells that because of media, women are continuously bombarded with images of the ideal face and figure, what Naomi Wolf calls the official body. Constant exposure to idealized images of female beauty on TV, magazines, and billboards makes exceptional good looks seem normal and anything short of perfection seem abnormal and ugly. This is what this tells us is that the media makes normal body standards seem like they don't belong, which causes people to try to fit in. Because of these expectations, people now have a certain views on how people should look. In this day and age, everyone is guilty of judging people due to how they look. People usually judge based on what they think is acceptable in society, and media has helped pave the way for how people should look. Because of media, people are more likely to be judged on how they look due to the fact they don't look like the men and women you would see on TV or magazines. Unfortunately, this mindset can easily lead to bullying. One of the main reasons people bully others is because they don't fit in. While others look and dress like how they're supposed to, some people are outside of what the media deems as normal. This leads to bullying based off a person's body, face, and clothes. Again, this reality hits women, especially teenagers, harder due to how the media constantly reminds people of their ideal woman. In addition, seeing what the media deems as attractiveness can cause people to hate who they are. In Mirror Mirror, Fox states how recent experiments show that exposure to magazine photographs of super thin models produce depression, stress, guilt, shame, insecurity, body dissatisfaction, and increased endorsement of the thin ideal stereotype. As I said before, media is influential, and in this generation, it's a way of life. You can just ignore what the media has set as beauty canons, but it's hard to avoid what the media thinks, especially when some of the viewers promote that thinking themselves. This is the case with many people, for the most part, teenage girls. According to the YWCA, Beauty at Any Cost, one study found that teenage girls who watched TV commercials depicting underweight models lost self-confidence. Depicting underweight models became more dissatisfied with their own bodies. Girls who spend most of their time and effort on their appearance suffered the greatest loss in confidence. No one should feel this way just because they don't look like someone on TV. This self-hate people go through only does more harm to them if they try to fix what doesn't need fixing. People who try to fix themselves due to the media's beauty standards can, in the process, harm their health. Because people these days are so quick to change themselves due to not looking how they're supposed to look, they often do it in a way that isn't good for the body. The models you will see on TV are usually extremely skinny, and girls will develop a mindset that they would have to look like that in order to be pretty and healthy. This usually leads to methods that'll get them to lose weight fast. Girls who have that goal in mind are more susceptible to develop an eating disorder. An eating disorder is any range of psychological disorders characterized by abnormal and disturbed eating habits. It could happen to anyone, but usually affects teenage girls. Going back to beauty at any cost, in the United States, nearly 10 million women suffer from an eating disorder, such as anorexia or bulimia. Eating disorders allow people to destroy their body on the inside just so they can look healthy on the outside. Other ways women try to unhealthily lose weight is by smoking. As you probably know, smoking isn't the healthiest habit, but it's said to help with weight loss. The YWCA tells of how women have been extensively targeted in tobacco marketing, dominated by themes of association between social desirability, independence, weight control, and smoking messages conveyed through advertisements featuring slim, attractive, and athletic models. So what the media is now doing is getting women to harm themselves by making them think that smoking isn't just okay but beneficial to them. In addition, the ideals displayed by the media can cause a person's mental health to suffer. Looking back at eating disorders, it's a psychological disorder. What's usually the case with eating disorders is that no matter how much weight a person loses, in their mind they think they're fat. Eating disorder can also lead to depression, a psychotic disorder that is marked especially by sadness, inactivity, and feelings of dejection and hopelessness. You can withdraw from your friends and family, have low self-esteem, and even suicidal thoughts. People who have been misguided on how they should look shouldn't have to suffer through a psychological torture like that. If the media would stop shoving these walking skeletons they call moms in the viewers' faces, the problem wouldn't be so big. To review, media should stop portraying a certain beauty standard for these reasons. They are unrealistic expectations to meet. It can affect how people see themselves and others, and it can cause a person to risk their health. We should be more confident in how we look and not change ourselves because of what the media says.